Well, guys, our Buffalo Bills are 7-4 with a loss to the Houston Texans. I know we're a little late to the party here with our podcast, but we wanted to have the final NFL Sunday through Week 12 go through before we gave our thoughts and opinions on everything that happened. So we're gonna break it all down for you guys. We're gonna talk about where we go from here, what it looks like for the playoffs. We're gonna go through the playoff scenarios and what the Bills need to do to get in, should they get in, and kind of what our thoughts are on everything else. So, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast. I'm Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill, and 19-23, the Bills fall to the Houston Texans in Houston. Not good. How are you feeling there, Sean?
I just, I mean, I get it. Houston has the number one defense in the league, which I didn't even realize till after the fact. But this team is just so inconsistent is a word I would like to use, but it's more than that. They just, outside of Josh Allen and a couple people on defense who have been playing better, what what talent does this team have? I'm sorry, but like, at what point is it asking too much of Josh Allen to do everything for this team? And God forbid the collective gasp that came out of everybody here in Buffalo when he took that sack from behind it. It looked like he messed up his arm. I mean, I literally jumped up and was like, "Oh my God, that's we're done, done." And I mean, thank God that he is the human equivalent to Superman because the fact that I thought that was just the season right there. And I mean, maybe it should be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, we could rag all over the defense for allowing Davis Mills to score 23 points, but I mean, honestly, the only thing I want to give the defense shit on is the fact that after Ray Davis got that amazing kickoff return for a touchdown, that they allowed them to go all the way down the field in a minute and 30 seconds and score right before the half.
Yep.
Like, I didn't love that, but they basically held them to hardly any points in the entire second half. So, and this is a defense that is missing everybody,
Yeah.
right? So like I don't want to rag on the defense too much. I feel like it's an easy thing to rag on, but man, do I want to rag on the offense a lot. I really want to rag on the offense. So we'll start with Allen and then we'll kind of just work our way down. So Allen, no passing touchdowns, two picks, eight sacks. Now I get it. A lot of the sacks are on the offensive line, but some of them aren't. Josh needs to learn to throw the ball away. And I get he's trying to make a play, and part of this is probably on those receivers that cannot get open at all because we have no skill at that position at all. Our best wide receiver is Khalil Shakir.
And he looked like he didn't even want to be there.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, dude had just had a baby, so like I don't want to give him too much shit, but
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
uh, still though, like. You got a Keon Coleman who, has discipline issues in his second year already, and he's been benched for 2 games now. You had Elijah Moore who had a decent game last week against Tampa, doesn't get a single target in this game. Your second leading receiver is Ty Johnson, then your tight end Jackson Haas. So like the only receiver who got more than 2 looks was Khalil Shakir. Nobody else did. Palmer got 2 looks. Dawson Knox got three. So you had 11 receptions to wide receivers in this game. 11. And Allen threw the ball 34 times. I mean,
So
like, what are we doing? So you got your offensive line. Yeah, and I get Houston's defense is amazing. I really do. Put someone else in there to help block then if that's what's going to happen, right? You have a tight end in there to chip more then if that is the case. You're like you were literally looking to get your quarterback killed there is what you were doing. And so much of this is on coaching. If coaching was better, they probably would have won this game because they were right there to win this
yep.
game. With that like they converted that amazing 4th and 27. And after they did that, I was like they're going to win this game. They don't deserve to win this game, but they're going to win this game. And of course, that didn't happen. And Ray Davis, his 1 foot was like an inch out, would have been set up for first and goal on the two. But it is what it is. And yeah, a lot of problems with this roster. A lot of problems with this roster. It doesn't help that they missed a kick. It doesn't help that they had numerous fourth downs in this game where they went for it and didn't convert because of boneheaded play calling. Like, what are you doing on that one fourth down that they did not convert on? That was 4th and 2. That drive or that series where it went 1, 2, 3, 4 and out. You ran James Cook all 4 times
Yep.
when they went 4 and out on that one there. And I mean, yeah, it was 4th and 2, so I suppose you could have kicked a field goal, which would have allowed you to kick a field goal to win it, like right here at the end of this one. And then the last thing I want to say before I'll pass it back to you is a lot of people say that, our buddy Dion Dawkins is a great player, and I'm sure he is. Every single game, dude gets a false start penalty. Every single game. And the one he got here could not have come at a worse time.
Yep. So the Bills offense, since we're talking about that first, is has problems from top to bottom, including with Josh Allen. However, there's one person who, with the problems with offense, should be taking the blame for this, and that's Joe Brady. He is in charge of this offense, and it starts with him and the fact that he has no originality to his play calling. He has no idea what to call in what situation, and I want him on the chopping block. I don't know what it is with Sean McDermott and how he burns through offensive coordinators the way that he does, but he somehow manages to kill coordinators after like a year or so. And I don't get it. But checking our boxes here. So you start with Brady and the play calling problems. Josh Allen and the fact that he is to the point where this team expects him to do everything. And that is what leads to these issues with him taking some of these sacks and some of these interceptions, is because he's being forced into the situation where he needs to play hero ball. And the reason why he was the MVP last year is because he didn't need to do that. I mean, there were a few situations where he did, but it wasn't every single game like it has been this year. So after Allen, the offensive line. The Bills' offensive line is generally looked at as one of the better offensive lines in football. And yes, Dawkins does take some boneheaded false start penalties, at least one a game. And you were 100% right. The one he took on Thursday was the worst timed one that he could have ever taken. But this offensive line just got decimated by Houston.
Spencer
Like,
Brown's gone. Yep.
Allen, I mean, we Spencer Brown's hurt now, but Allen was literally running from his life. That sack that I mentioned, where it looked like he was hurt, he had no idea that guy was about to blindside him, and it was those 8 sacks. The offensive line literally just collapsed so much during the game. I have never seen them fall apart as much as they did. And for an offensive line that's generally looked at as one of the better in the league, there's no excuse for that. And it's not like they really have the injuries on the offensive line. Outside of Spencer Brown going down, that's one of the points of the Bills that doesn't have injuries. Next on the list is the wide receivers. Like you said, when Khalil Shakir, who, mind you, I didn't know that they had just had a baby, literally looked like his head wasn't really even in the game, is your number one guy. I'm sorry, your receivers aren't going to do anything. Like, I like Shakir, and he's great as an underneath guy, but he is not a number one, and that's always been this team's problem since they lost Diggs. They don't have a number one receiver, and especially with Dalton Kincaid down right now, that is killing this team too. And it's just
Well, your number
it's
one
so
receiver can't be a tight end. Like, that's your first problem,
not
right?
unless you specifically build it to be like that. Which honestly, I've always said the Bills should build an offense around Knox and Kincaid and run it as a double tight end offense, like as your big receivers. And I think they could do it. I think it would work for them because we've seen that they can call plays to the tight ends that don't go huge down the field that work every game. but you still need wide receivers to go down the field when you need that situationally. And I just the Keon Coleman thing. I was a huge Coleman supporter on this channel, and I'm sorry, I can't anymore. When you are reacting to being benched for disciplinary issues and missing a meeting, and your response is, "Oh, it was just a meeting," grow the hell up. I'm sorry. Part of your job is to be at these goddamn meetings. Be there. Do your job. And from what it sounds like and what the Bills said, he is not growing as a person. And that's a huge problem. And honestly, it makes me wonder if that's why he wasn't growing as a receiver, too. He's not taking the shit seriously. And then we get to the running game. And I mean, other than the insistent need to just run Cook up the middle and then giving up on the run when he gets stopped, like let him run to the outside. Do something else with him. You have one of the best running backs in the league. Why are you not utilizing him on outside runs? But I digress. That was my soapbox rant. We can go back to the rest of the podcast.
Well, I mean, there's really not much more to say, right? And the only other thing I want to say in the offense is take the damn screenplay out of the playbook. Take it out of the playbook. I'm done with it.
That the end around.
I'm completely done with it. Throw a slant.
Yep.
Like throw like have you ever played Madden before? Throw a slant. Throw a curl route. Like, are you kidding me? Are you
They don't
kidding
have
me?
they don't have the personnel to run this screenplay that Brady is insistent that they run. Like if you notice, one out of like every eight of these screenplays works because they don't have the blockers for it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. So we've got Pittsburgh on Sunday at 4:25. And from all accounts, it sounds like Rodgers is going to play. Pittsburgh did lose to Chicago in an impressive game, which, I'd like to just spend 30 seconds saying, I am impressed with Chicago. Eight and
Yeah,
three, like they're on top of that division. Detroit won, but Detroit looks like a mess. And I've been saying all year, I think the Packers are frauds. And Minnesota's probably kicking themselves that they got rid of Sam Darnold. I mean, looking at how Seattle's doing. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think Chicago might win that division. I really do.
I
But
expected the Bears to be better, but I didn't expect them to be division leading better or division
yeah,
winning better.
I mean, they might be the team that goes from last to first this year. They really might. But yeah, so Pittsburgh is 6-5. And the way everything looks right now, Patriots are in the one seed, 10-2.
Undeservedly.
Yeah. Denver at 9-2, Colts at 8-3. And all of a sudden, Baltimore is leading their division at 6-5. You know that team that we beat week one. They're 6-5. Chargers 7-4, Jacksonville 7-4, and then the Bills in the 7 seed at 7-4, followed by Pittsburgh, Houston, who has a tiebreaker on them, and Kansas City at 6-5, rounding out those teams that are in the hunt. So this game against Pittsburgh on Sunday is massive. If you lose this game against Pittsburgh on Sunday, that's probably it. It's probably
Honest,
it.
honestly, with the way the Bills have been going, I expect them to win because it feels like they win, lose, win, lose. So, I mean, I feel like this they should win, but I don't know. I don't know. Like Terrence messaged our group chat earlier about Shaq Lawson being in town. So maybe adding another piece to the defense will help. But I feel like Pittsburgh is a team that the Bills haven't really struggled against a whole lot. And even Aaron Rodgers is, I mean, he's not the Aaron Rodgers of old. They, sh I don't even want to say should beat them, but they have the ability to beat them.
I mean, do you have confidence right now that the Bills could go into Denver and win?
No,
I don't. I
no.
don't. Like I'm looking at this field of playoff teams right now. The only team that I think the Bills could beat is the Patriots. I don't think the Bills could beat maybe the Chargers.
Denver's tough because I feel like their offense isn't good, so it would be a very defensive game for both sides. But I don't trust our offense to score either.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the way these playoffs are right now, Baltimore would mop the floor with the Chargers, the way the Chargers have been playing lately.
Yep.
Indianapolis would mop the floor with Jacksonville, although Indianapolis blew it yesterday to the Chiefs. But I mean, we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then I think Denver would mop the floor with us. I think it would be very similar to the Houston game. I really do. Like, how are we gonna move the ball on that team? That
Yep.
defense is just as good as Houston's. How are we gonna move the ball on that team? And it takes me back to something I said in the group chat yesterday, and I know Paulie kind of gave me a little bit of a hard time about it, but like, what are we doing with Josh Allen here? Like, what are we doing with this guy? We have him locked up until 2032. Great. But like, how many more years of Josh Allen playing the way he is do we really have? Three? Four, maybe? You know what I
At
mean?
least
And
two.
it's yeah, like, you know what I mean? And you're just gonna keep this coaching staff here. You're not gonna give him any support. And you look at all these other teams that have good quarterbacks and they give them help, right? I mean, say what you want about Drake May. They have a ton of weapons and they have $93 million in cap space next year. Look at the Bengals. I mean, yeah, it sucks that their quarterback went down. They have great receivers. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Look at Baltimore. Look at all the weapons Baltimore has.
Yep.
I mean, hell, look at the Chiefs. I would love to have Rashi Rice, and the Chiefs aren't even in there. Rashi Rice is better, and I get it. The personal stuff aside with him, he's better than any of our wide receivers by a
Oh yeah.
lot. Look at the Rams. Look at the Seahawks. JSN is the best receiver in the league right now. Look at the Rams. The Rams are arguably the best team in football right now, probably.
Like you have two teams in the
And
same division who are
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and look at their wide receiving core, right? I mean, yeah, I know Tampa's, hit or miss. Look at their wide receiving core. Look at the Eagles' wide receiving core. Look at Dallas's wide receiving core. Like you have a decent quarterback who's getting paid. All of these guys that I just mentioned, they're all getting paid. Look at Detroit. They all have good wide receivers to help
So
their star quarterback. Why can't we do that? Like I don't understand why our general manager is such a bonehead and they just won't do it. Every one of these teams, like in order to be, you need a good wide receiver. Why do we not have one? This everybody eats thing is bullshit.
yep. I have a question. So outside of Allen and Cook, why do we have no cap space? Where is all of our money being spent?
On the
Considering we have
defense.
yes, but on who? What superstars do we have?
Me,
Ex-
we're yeah,
Exactly.
look at how much money we are paying some of these players. Like, I mean, I I don't know. Like, look,
He's
what we always talk about, what's his face? Curtis Samuel, right? Like,
yes
dude's getting like what, $7 million? I'm gonna actually pull it up right now while we're
to
talking.
play
But like,
once every 4 games.
okay. So Ed Oliver, $24 million. He's not playing. Dawson Knox, $17 million. Is he really worth that? Palmer, $11 million. Is he really worth that?
Well, yeah.
Greg Rousseau, Terrence's boy, $11 million. Uh, Curtis Samuel, $9 million. I mean, what are we doing here? Khalil Shakir, 6 million, fine. James Cook, 5.8 this year. Terrell Bernard, 5.4. We're paying 4.9 to Tyler Bass, who hasn't played all year. Like, what? Taylor Rapp, 4 million. Daquan Jones, 3.7. Ty Johnson, 3 million. AJ Epinesa, 2.8.
Well, Ty Johnson, I'm fine with. Anything under like 4 million, I'm fine with. It's these big money ones outside of Allen and Cook.
Christian
Like
Benford, 7.4. Michael Hoyt, 7.5. Curtis Samuel, 9.7. Uh,
I
Taron
can't
Johnson.
argue.
Taron Johnson, $11 million.
Right.
What?
I can't argue the Hoyt one though, because when he came in, the defense looked markedly better with him in the lineup. And it's just though Bean is paying these people and none of them are stars. Why are you paying all these people this much money when you could be using that money to bring in like actual players. And that's why this team can't get over the hump because we have all like no name people and you're paying them millions upon millions of dollars. Like send
It's
Bean
insane.
back to GM school because he obviously failed money management.
It is insane to me the money that we are paying to some of these guys. Like, and the worst contract of all, I know he's been relatively okay this year. Dawson Knox, $17 million. Are you like, are we insane?
That was the friends and family thing for with Josh Allen.
It is unbelievable to me.
Knox is not a $17 million tight end. Kincaid,
Unbelievable to me.
Kincaid when he wasn't hurt was, but Knox is not. And I'm sorry, but I know that even if they don't make the playoffs, this team's ownership is too hands off to fire both McDermott and Bean. And if anything, this year has shown that not only can Bean not manage like the paychecks of this team, that Curtis Samuel one just it pisses me off like you would not believe. But the injuries, what is going on with look at our defense? Our defense is all no names because everybody is hurt. Why are
I
so many people getting hurt on our team?
don't know. I don't. I don't know the answer to that. You
Like
know.
it's every game.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we're just bit by the injury bug this year. You know. I mean, yeah, they probably need to make some changes on the strength and conditioning. That's for sure. I mean, Terrence has talked about this for a while, where it's like, these players are playing less now because of the collective bargaining agreement and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But
You don't see other teams with this many injuries. I mean, here and there you see injuries, but not to the degree of our team. Like it's just absolutely like I'm flabbergasted, and to use a word, with just every game we're losing people for the year. Not just minor injuries, but like, oh, IR done for the season. Oh, IR done for the season. Like, it's literally painful watching the Bills this year. And if I'm a Bills player, knowing that this is our last year here in this stadium, I'm embarrassed to close out this stadium in this fashion
well, I
without a
mean,
home playoff game.
you're not getting a home playoff game this year.
No,
Like looking like I
not
mean, realistically, like
they're lucky to get
looking
a
at
playoff game
looking at the Patriots schedule for the rest of the year, they're gonna drop, I don't know, one game. I
unless
mean,
they get injuries or something. Like,
you know what? They play the Giants next week on Monday Night Football, and the Giants are frisky, but the
yeah,
Giants did almost beat the Lions, but I doubt it. Then they're on bye. Then they play us there. Then they've got Baltimore, which that could be tough.
yeah.
And then they've got the Jets, who will be ready for the bus by then, and the Dolphins.
Well, division games are weird still. So,
I mean, Miami could play spoiler. The Jets, they will not lose to the Jets. But, yeah, so what are they gonna go? 3-2 in that?
so
3-2 in that.
honestly, this New England team kind of feels like the year. Do you remember when the Patriots dynasty was going on, and there was that one random year where Miami won the division? It kind of feels like that with this Patriots team because this Patriots team is not that good. They they've barely beaten teams. They have gotten help when they shouldn't have, like yesterday in that game when there should have been a blatant pass interference call for on them. And I think that this is like a fluky good year for them. I do not expect them to be this good again next year.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, they're gonna play a first place schedule next year. They're gonna get all the good teams next year. You know what I mean? They're gonna get Indianapolis and Seattle and Baltimore and us again, and they'll get uh what other division? San Francisco and the Rams. Like, yeah, they're going to lose a lot of games next year. They're going to come way back down to earth next year.
Yep. And
When we
maybe
have to
that,
play all those NFC West teams next year, and whatever our cross to AFC AFC West, I think, again as well. So yeah, they'll have to play the Chargers and Denver and
yep.
Kansas City. Like yeah, dude, they're gonna drop a ton of games. Like, you mean to tell me, even though the Chiefs are in the eighth spot right now, the Chiefs couldn't go into Foxborough and beat their heads in? Because they absolutely would.
Especially with the way the league still favors the Chiefs. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's no world. I'm expecting the Chiefs to make the playoffs. There's no world where the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. The way them coming back and winning yesterday, the league is going to do everything they can to make sure that the Chiefs are in the playoffs.
I mean, there were a lot of sketchy calls in that Chiefs Colts game yesterday, but there were a lot of sketchy calls both ways. Like
There were.
The Colts got some non-calls and the Chiefs got some non-calls. So like I think the officiating in that game was just bad. Like the
Yeah.
Chiefs definitely got robbed on a
On that
uh,
touchdown.
no, 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 no. There was a personal foul against the Chiefs on the Colts, where it was like a face mask or whatever, and the guy like just touched the helmet. It didn't move, and I was like, yeah, that should not have been called. And I don't like Tony Romo anymore. I really don't. Even, but he said it too,
Yeah.
and it was obnoxious, and coaching cost them a little bit too there. Like, what are you doing not going for it on 4th and 1 and punting it away to the Chiefs and allowing them to come back and tie it there?
Oh yeah,
Like, what,
Indy.
like
When we go around the league, I have some things to say about Indy's coaching.
well, I don't really have much more else to say about the Bills other than, I mean, I mean, I guess if you get in, anything can happen, right? Because like looking at the playoffs, right? I mean, you got a lot of young quarterbacks that would be in the playoffs this year, and we know how Lamar is in the playoffs. Dude likes to choke. Can we really trust Bo Nix or Drake May in the postseason? I don't
I
know.
mean, the playoffs are a whole new season, so I mean, if they can, if the Bills sneak in, look at it like it's a brand new season.
Yeah. So I guess that's all we can really hope for right now. Win the games that you're supposed to. Win this weekend, beat Cleveland next week, beat the Patriots, beat the Jets, probably lose to the Eagles, although the Eagles don't look that
Yeah,
great either. So,
not
I mean,
looking. Yeah,
the Eagles just blew it to Dallas yesterday. Although I still think Dallas is sneaky good.
yeah. The problem with Dallas is they're kind of like the Bills; they're just not consistent.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's go around the league and talk about these games. So, uh, Baltimore and the Jets. Baltimore won 23-10. Um, the Jets were ahead for a good chunk of this game, and Baltimore really could not get anything going. They eventually pulled away late, and I mean that was that. But Lamar had no passing touchdowns. Both touchdowns were Derrick Henry rushing touchdowns, and Lamar had a really crappy day. I know this
Yep.
because I have him in fantasy, and he did not do very well for me. So, but then again, it's just I don't even know what the Jets are really like trying to do here. They're 2-9. I mean, going for the bus at this point. But I no longer am of the mind that the Jets are the worst team in the league. I'll reserve
Right.
that for another team we talk about in a little bit here. Um, but yeah, not really surprised here that the Ravens won at home, but I don't really have more to say about it.
The Jets are just they just can't get out of their own way. Like even when they have the lead, you still fumble it away, and you're supposed to be a team that was always known for your defense more than your offense. And even then, it's just they may not be the worst team, but they're definitely in the running for it. And unless I would say unless they want to play spoiler for people, but that would be stupid. Just try to. I would lose out if I'm the Jets.
Yeah, try and get good draft picks.
Yep.
Seattle and Tennessee. Seattle won 30-24. JSN broke a single season record, 79 receiving yards. Insane. Insane in one game. Sam Darnold looking good, looking like an MVP favorite, and good for him. Tennessee made it close, like towards the end there, but Seattle was up by 20 points late in this game, and Tennessee got some garbage time points. So Tennessee is not very good. But they got a young quarterback, so they'll build around him and they'll eventually be a little bit better. But
Yeah.
Seattle looks good this year. I think Seattle is the second or third best team in the NFC.
I don't like that their defense gave up 24 points to Tennessee, but I get it. It's garbage time at the end. You really don't play as hard, especially if you're up. If Tennessee though, like they're in a rebuild, but the problem is their rebuild at the moment consists of just a quarterback. Like, so honestly, they're another team that should just lose out so that they can get some more of the pieces they need for that rebuild. And I don't know what they have cap space wise, but I would be interested to see what they do in free agency next year because I think if they have the cap space, they have the potential to do some real decent building around that young team.
Yeah. Um, well, let's talk about those Chiefs in that Colts game. So 23-20, the final. Kansas City wins in overtime. I mean, we spent a little bit of time on it earlier. The Colts blew it. Like the Colts had
Yep,
this 1-1 and they blew it. And it would have been nice to see Kansas City go to 5-6. Um, and I think Indy is now probably definitively out of being the one seed. I think at this point they're 8-3. I don't I mean, I'm sure Denver will drop a few more games, but honestly, like looking at the way things look right now, it's probably the Patriots that are going to be the one seed because I think Denver will drop the other game to Kansas City and Arrowhead. I do think that Denver will probably drop another game or two as well. So I don't foresee Denver being the one seed at this point.
that just grosses me out hearing you say number one seed New England Patriots. This was the Bills' year. It was literally set up to be the Bills' year.
Mhm.
But I knew that Kansas City was going to win this game, even when they were still down, when there was 5 minutes left in the game, and Indy went 4-0. Literally, you all you need to do is get an extended drive, and you can close the game out.
Mhm.
And instead of handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, you throw the ball three straight times.
Yep. Yep. There was like
That
4 minutes of
is
change left, and they threw it three times.
bad coaching. I
Yep.
don't know if they called Sean McDermott and asked him for his opinion on what plays to run, but it was something you would see the Bills do. Like, I'm sorry, but that is exactly something I would see out of the Joe Brady playbook. Like,
Yeah.
literally, you're up. All you have to do is run Jonathan Taylor, and they
You,
didn't. And
you
right
have the
there,
best running, yeah, you have the best running game in the league, and you need two first downs.
once they went three and out, I was like, I stopped watching. I was like, this game's over.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that Kansas City didn't actually score to win in regulation. That it surprised me that they weren't able to get into the end zone, but I mean, it still ended up with the same result.
Yeah. We had the Packers beating the Vikings 23-6. The Vikings look horrific. I mean, the Packers don't look good at all. I mean, I think the Packers are out in the first round. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, however the playoffs end up kind of shaking out, the Packers are in the sixth spot right now in the NFC. I think the Packers go to Chicago and lose. I think the Packers go to Philly and lose. I think the Packers go to Tampa and lose. So, yeah.
maybe not with how many injuries Tampa has, but we'll
But
talk about that in a minute.
Tampa might be healthy by then.
The
Um,
How much do you think the Vikings are kicking themselves letting Sam Darnold go?
I mean, McCarthy's not the answer.
No,
They
I
couldn't they
mean,
couldn't do anything. You know who might be available next year? Justin Jefferson.
okay, cut cut as many people as you need to bring Justin Jefferson in.
Give him $30 million. I
Yep.
don't care. I don't
Nope.
care. Make him the highest paid receiver in the league. Don't care.
So him and the other guy on Cincinnati because I can't see them franchise tagging him again.
Higgins?
Um, yeah, like both of them are probably going to be free agents next year. Bring in one of them. Break the bank. Somehow bring in both of them.
Yep. Trade away everybody. And I don't care. Everybody. Gone. And
Only
Oliver.
person I want you to keep is Khalil Shakir because you do need that underneath threat. Trade everybody else away.
Yeah. Everybody gone. Don't care. Um, Detroit and New York. Detroit won 34-27 in overtime. The Giants were ahead for like most of this game, and Detroit came back late to tie it. Detroit doesn't look right.
No,
Detroit does not look right at all, and I don't really understand. They kind of remind me of the Bills a little bit. Like,
Yep,
I mean,
I was just gonna say that.
they're in and around like the same record as the Bills. I actually think they have the same record as the Bills, 7-4, and they just don't look right.
Yep.
Like that, something I can't quite put my finger on what is wrong with the Lions, but they look just as inconsistent as the Bills.
Nope, I was going to say the exact same thing. The Lions are the NFC version of the Bills without the injuries. They don't
Yep.
have the injuries to blame it on. It just, I don't know what is going on with them, but they are the second most inconsistent team in the league after us. And it looks like they struggle at times for no reason. They at least have the talent though. Like they have the named people on their team. And that's what makes it even worse for them is they have like Amon Ra. They have people, yet they have almost the same issues as us. And honestly, have New York not had the injuries that they had this year, I think Dable is still employed there. And I think they're winning some of these games.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah, completely.
I feel
I mean, you want to talk about teams with injuries, Giants, man. I mean, if
oh yeah.
the Giants had their starting roster, they would have won yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Easy,
Several games
easy.
this year they probably would have won.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Um, what are you gonna do though? Yeah, it's just weird, 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 weird. We briefly talked about the Bears and the Steelers. The Bills' next opponent this week. Chicago looks good, and Rodgers will be back for our game next week. So it's going to be very interesting. The Steelers don't have a good secondary, but they have a very good front seven. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Bills basically handle another defense that kind of plays the same way as the one that they played this week.
Oh yeah, TJ Watt. I mean, he had a monster game even in that loss. What exactly was Rodgers' injury?
Wrist.
I mean, if we can get a couple hits in on him, like that might help. But I don't really know very much about their offensive line, how strong it is. And I don't know if we even have the people to be able to get in past an offensive line at this point. But the Bears, I'm glad to see they're doing well. I'm not a big Caleb fan, but it's always good to see a random team go from last to real good every couple of years. And go Bears. Go Bears.
So we also talked about that Patriots Bengals game. Do you have anything more to say about that?
I just the Bengals should have won. New England is the most overrated team in football that I have seen in a while. Their wins have a lot of them have been through luck. They shouldn't have beaten their Atlanta. They got lucky yesterday, and it just they're you and I talked about it. I think before we came on the air here. I think that they are a one and done team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Um, Atlanta, New Orleans. Atlanta won 24-10. I have nothing to say about this game. I didn't watch it. I know nothing. I didn't see any of the scores. I know both teams are missing their starting quarterbacks, so
Yep.
I don't particularly care at all. This game means nothing to me whatsoever. And the same thing with the two worst teams in the league, Cleveland and the Raiders. Cleveland won 24-10. Again, I have nothing to say about this game. I
So
should our Sanders started, I guess.
yeah.
He threw a touchdown, but again, it is against the Raiders, who, as I teased earlier, are the worst team in the league.
Yep.
The Raiders are the worst team in football, and it's not close. I think if you were to have the Jets, the Titans, the Raiders, the Browns, the Giants, the Saints all play each other, I think the Raiders would lose to all of them.
The it sucks because that the Raiders went out and got Geno Smith and he reverted to the Geno Smith of old and not the Geno Smith from Seattle because that's part of their problem. And then just
I think
there's not.
it's talent though too. Seattle
Yeah,
had a much better roster.
yeah. And there really isn't the Raiders are another team kind of like the Jets and that where they just don't have a good team at all. Like outside of their new running back Ashton GT, like they don't really have anything.
Yeah. Jacksonville stays in the playoff spot by beating the Arizona Cardinals in overtime. This game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Jacksonville was going to mop the floor with them, but
Yep.
Arizona kept it close, and Jacksonville ended up squeaking out the win in overtime 27-24. And then the Dallas Cowboys upset the Philadelphia Eagles with a walk-off field goal to win the game. Although, from what I understand, I didn't watch this game, but there was a plethora of errors, like three missed field goals in this game and a bunch of turnovers, like late in the game. Um, but yeah, Dallas beat the Eagles at home. Good for Dallas. I think Dallas is a fun watch. I really do.
mean, they should have beaten them in week one too.
Yeah.
Like Dallas should be 2-0 against Philly. And honestly, Philly is another team that just doesn't look right this year. Like they have more wins than they probably should because they something about them looks off. I mean, when you have AJ Brown getting like no fantasy, or no, he did well yesterday, but Saquon had like no fantasy points yesterday. Like
Never has.
you
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with that.
like what are you doing? You have literally he broke or he would have broken the record last year. And like why are you not utilizing this guy?
Yeah,
Or
their offensive line is a mess in Philly. I will.
so if I had to say something about this entire year of the NFL so far, this definitely feels like a year where teams are broken. Not just injury wise, but just as far as like not looking like what they should for some reason.
Yeah. And then the nightcap saw, I think, the team that's going to win the Super Bowl this year, the Los Angeles Rams, just decimate Tampa 34-7. Wasn't close. Um,
What
and I just lost. The Rams are amazing to me. Like the way Sean McVay runs that team, they don't ever use their draft picks. They just sign people, trade away all their draft picks for players. Went out and got Puka, or they drafted Puka, but they went out and got Devontae Adams, and they're just great. They're just great, and they just win all the time. Like I can't recall since Sean McVay has been there when they've ever been bad. And they had Jared Goff, and they were still scoring a ton of points, but they decided he wasn't good enough, and they went and got Matthew Stafford. Like the Rams are incredible. They're such a well-run organization, and I'm so jealous of them. And honestly, I will bet dollars to donuts. I know Paulie is going to want to hear this, but I think that's where Josh Allen should go.
I agree. Either there or if San Francisco could build a little bit better around the quarterback, or there or San Francisco, I could see him going. But I who would have thought that replacing Cooper Kupp with Devontae Adams would work as well as it did, especially with how Devontae Adams looked last year with Rodgers. And I mean, obviously that's going to be because he was with Rodgers at that point on the Jets. But the Rams are incredible to watch. And I think my biggest point though out of this game is what the actual hell was Todd Bowles thinking, putting Baker in an injured Baker Mayfield to try to throw a Hail Mary at the end of the half. Like, you should be investigated for that. Like, or fired because I don't know. I mean, I lost my fantasy game because Baker got hurt. And had he not gotten hurt, I probably would have won. But I just I don't know, like boneheaded coaching with that. I don't know. I agree. I think I could see the Rams winning it. I think that there are very few teams that can compete with them. I think one of them is Seattle, and I think they are though probably the bona fide number one team in the league. They would destroy New England.
Oh, it's not even close.
Like
They
if
they
you
would
put
they
number
would mop the
one,
floor with the Patriots. They would mop the
like
floor with them.
they would probably. I would be shocked if the Patriots scored on them, and they would probably put up 50 on the Patriots.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, if the Bills were competent, the Bills would have beat the Patriots. If Atlanta wasn't stupid, they would have beaten the Patriots. And even yesterday, if Cincinnati didn't get screwed, they would have beaten the Patriots. So,
Yep.
we said that last year, and look at the Chiefs, and look at where they are now. We are definitely living in a world, though, where the Chiefs might not make the postseason. I think the spot they're going to take, realistically, will probably be the Chargers, because the Chargers don't look right to
Nope.
me. The Chargers do not. I know they're on a bye right now, but man, the Chargers don't look right. And I think of all of the teams that are like right there, Houston, Pittsburgh, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers, and Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got a real light schedule. They'll probably win some more games and get in. I think they're a first round exit, but they'll probably get in. The Bills are going to beat Cleveland. The Bills are going to beat the Jets. The Bills will probably beat Pittsburgh. They will probably lose to the Patriots and they will probably lose to the Eagles. So if the Bills go 3-2 or 4-2 or whatever in these next six, they'll probably get in.
See, I think they beat the Patriots. I really do. I think that
If they beat
they
the Patriots, they definitely get in. If they go, what are we? We're 7-4 right now, so there's what, 6 games left. If we go 5-1 or even 4-2 in these next six, we get the Bengals in there too. Oh, that might be a tough. Well, the Bengals might not be playing for anything. So if the Bills go 4-2 in their last 6 games, I think they get in. With 11 wins, I think 11 wins gets you in. Definitely puts you ahead of the Chiefs because you have the tiebreaker with them. If you beat
yep.
Pittsburgh, you have the tiebreaker with them. Um, you're not going to have the tiebreaker with Houston, but I don't think Houston is going to win 5 more games. So,
No.
and they're 6-5 right now. So no to Houston. So I mean, the only team you really have to worry, you wouldn't have to worry about any of them because Houston. If you beat Pittsburgh, you have the tiebreaker with them. Houston's not going to win 5 games, and you have the tiebreaker with the Chiefs. So if the Bills win this weekend, they're probably going to make the postseason. It's a very, very good chance they will make the. They're not going to win the division. They have to go 6-0 and have the Patriots drop games they're not supposed to win the
Oh,
division. But it's not going to
maybe
happen.
maybe
It's
they
not
get
going to.
lucky. I'm not going to hold my breath though. I think the most, to be honest with you, in closing for my part here, I think the most frustrating thing this season so far is the losses the Bills have can be squarely placed on management and coaching.
Sure.
100%. And just I think that's the most frustrating thing for me is these are games that they should have easily won. And these past couple of years, I don't know if we just got spoiled by the fact that they were playing the way that they were, but something needs to change in this organization at the top. And I'm kind of worried that that's not going to end up happening.
I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, you're still 7-4. You're still 7-4. You started 4-0, and then you went 3-4 after that. So if they make the postseason, and I'm sure they'll play great in the divisional or the wild card round. They always do. And then they'll get bounced in the divisional round by a good team, by Indy or by Denver, and that'll be that. You know. So I don't know, or God forbid they get the 5 seed, which looks unlikely now, but they get the 5 seed and they draw Baltimore. That's all. That's all we need.
Yeah.
So I really, really hope they don't. Ideally, I kind of would want them to get the 6 or the 7 because then they get Indy or Denver or
Okay.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
Honestly, thinking about it, this could be Baltimore's year.
Yeah.
Could
Well,
you imagine? Think about that for a second. Baltimore, the team that stunk it up so bad this year, your quarterback quit on you, and now could make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
I mean, the only positive is that Lamar's could be pretty much counted on to choke.
But I mean, look what he might have to go through. He might have to go through what, Denver or the Patriots?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Denver's
Oh.
defense is good enough that it should be able to stop them. We're gonna already get a preview of what them versus the Patriots would look like.
I mean, how pissed are you going to be though if Drake May or Bo Nix wins or even makes it to a championship game before Josh Allen?
I'd be way more angry if it's Drake May. I can at least live with Bo Nix, but I would be way more angry if it was same with Baltimore. If I'm a Baltimore fan and you say the same thing for them, like if Bo Nix or Drake May make it before Lamar,
Mhm.
like
I couldn't even believe it, but to be honest with you, if the Bills get bounced, I would probably root for the Ravens just because like I would or the Chargers or Jacksonville or something.
yeah,
There's no world where I want Denver or the Patriots to get there. No world.
no,
So, So that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are we overreacting? I mean, how do you guys feel about this team and like where we go from here? Hopefully, we can get a big dubs against the Steelers and right the ship a little bit, but I'm not holding my breath. So, we'll have pregame for you guys this Sunday before the game at 4:25, coming to you from Pittsburgh. And we will talk to you guys soon. With that, have yourselves a fantastic day and take care.